Hey everybody, it's Matt with Patriot Golf USA, your East Texas golf guy and game improvement specialist. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the mini driver, specifically the Krank mini driver. These are fairly new. Well, fairly new. They are new. Only been out for maybe a month or two from Krank. These things are absolutely amazing, and people have been hearing about mini drivers for a long time. You turn on TV, you hear about mini drivers. You look at YouTube, you hear about mini drivers. So I'm going to try to do my best to give you just a little bit of insight on why these things are so popular and why they're so good for so many golfers. The mini driver is just that. It's a smaller version of a driver. The loft is about the same. This is an 11.5 degree that can be turned down to 10.5. It can play at 11, 12.5, or even 13, which is not uncommon for most of your drivers. What makes these things a little bit more unique is the fact that they are a heavier head than a driver. So you can build them out shorter. So 43.5 inches is the standard length that you would play mini drivers. And they can be a little bit shorter or just a little bit longer, but you're going to want to stay somewhere around that length because that's what they're designed to be played at. The face on these things are a little bit deeper than a fairway wood, which means that they're just a little bit taller, which means that the center of gravity comes up a little bit more. When you simply think of, oh, if the driver is too much, then just pull a 3-wood out. 3-woods are very, very shallow. The faces are very thin. The center of gravity is very low, which makes the ball get up in the air and makes the ball spin a whole lot more. So when you get into these mini drivers with the face being thicker, the center of gravity comes up, the spin rate goes way, way down. So when you're taking these things off the tee, they're much more easier to control than just a fairway wood off of the tee because the spin rate is down. If you hit a 3-wood, it's easy to balloon those things, easy to produce more side spin because there is a lot more spin to them. So they work just better off of the tee box than just pulling out a 3-wood and hitting it because of really those qualities, because of the low spin. Two, a little bit bigger of a head. I think it gives you more confidence at address. Playing a club that's a little bit shorter, but being able to look down and seeing that the golf head is bigger than just a standard 3-wood. Now, why not take a driver and just cut it down short? Well, you can't because the weight is so light in a driver that cutting these things down brings the swing weight down. So if we cut these things down, take a regular driver that's 45.5, maybe even 46 inches, and cut 2 to 3 inches off of that thing, the swing weight is going to be so light. Now you're going to feel a club that you really lose control of. The flex of the shaft is going to play different because the weight is a lot different than what it was when it was originally built. The length of it really is the key here. Being able to get into a club that you can control and maintain is the reason why these minis are just so good. The spin rate coming down is huge. So if you're bouncing back and forth between I want a driver or a 3-wood off the tee, adding a mini driver to your bag if you have enough room as far as club count is the way to go. Now, if you're someone who struggles with their driver, that just doesn't feel confident with it, then again, this is going to be the next best thing you can do rather than just take a wood off the tee, because you're getting into something shorter, you're getting something you can control, and it still gives you the confidence of hitting it rather far. And these things are not just, a club that you're going to hit just to, take out just to put down the middle of the fairway. There's a lot of distance that comes with these. Now, that being said, these are not built for distance specifically like drivers are. Drivers are really built to just hit it as far as you possibly can. The mini driver is going to be your in-between. You're not going to theoretically hit this as far as a driver, but in the course of 18 holes or 14 times that you use it, you'll probably hit it further as far as total yards because you're going to hit more fairways. I just thought about that the other day, or yesterday, because I took one out and played with it on Sunday, took my driver out of the bag and only used the mini driver. I missed one fairway. And I think that if I was playing my driver, I would have missed a few more fairways. In turn, my total yards per round would have gone down. So, and to me, I'm pretty sure that I hit this mini driver further than I hit my driver on total yards per round, if that makes any sense. So anyway, my point is, these things work for virtually everybody out there. There's not anybody out there that really probably wouldn't benefit from a mini driver in their bag if they've got room to put it in. And hitting fairways is important. So if you can, if you have, if you need to pull a club out of your bag, maybe you're pulling that 4-iron, maybe you're pulling an iron that you really don't ever hit very often. and put one of these in the bag. Now, can these be hit out of the fairway? They're not as easy. The loft is a little bit more than a standard driver. But again, I hit a couple of these off of the fairway where it was really tight lies, and it wasn't the easiest to hit. At that point, I'm going to take a 3-wood or a 5-wood and do that. But if you're playing a course where you've got a lie that's where it sits up a little bit, even a good lie in the first cut of rough, yeah, this thing is going to, you can hit it out of the fairway absolutely without a problem, and you're going to get a better result than you would your 3-wood. So anyway, I hope that this answers even just maybe one or two questions that you have about the mini driver. At the end, these things work. These things are an absolute weapon. And like I said in previous posts, they're just fun. Getting up there to the tee box is just fun. And if you're a fairly good golfer that can control their golf ball, knowing that these are easier to fade and draw, they're easier to hit high, they're easier to hit low than your driver. You can definitely work the ball easier with a mini than you can with your driver, and I would say even with your 3-wood, just because of the spin aspect. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. This one's gone on long enough, but if you do have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me here at Patriot Golf USA at 212 Old Grande Boulevard, Suite C102 here in Tyler, Texas. Everybody, take care and God bless.